Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Awful Angler YouTube channel, and welcome back to a pretty good morning on the River Mersey. Cod season's well underway. It's midweek. I've got a free morning. I thought I'd shoot up here. High tide's at 9 AM. It's just gone 6 AM, so we're going to get 3 hours up, possibly an hour down. As you can see, we're all set up. I like to get set up before I get the cameras out, because frankly it's 20 minutes of messing about with the cameras that you could have a line in the water. The amount of times I've caught a fish before I've even got the camera set up is quite surprising. I'm fishing with the Achios Furies today. On there I've got the power tips. You can see how they sit nicely in the tide. Still nice and soft. I'm using Mike's rigs, pulley droppers. Out there at the minute I've got a whole squid on this right hand rod. On the left hand rod I've got a whole cart wing. Now it has to be said, the cart wing is probably a little past its best, because well, I'll show you what happened this morning. You know, I did think maybe I ought to wash this rag after our last outing. Maybe it's not the only thing I should have washed. Oopsie daisy. So yeah, not the best of starts, but that's why I call myself the Awful Angler. If you've been around a while, you'll know I make a big deal about taking your rubbish home with you. I normally clear my box up. In fact, I've already got the rubbish bag out and set up. It's got them manky baits in. But since having this bait station and a separate box for my bait, I must admit I do tend to, I'll leave stuff in there. I'll be like, oh, I'll put that back in the freezer, or I'll sort that when I get home. So yeah, I left 3 cart wings and a pack of mackerel in there, and it's been festering in the back of the van for just over a week or so. So here we have then pulley dropper. As you can see, you got the swivel at the top onto a cascade, and then down on the business end of that, this is the long one, so got big 4050 hooks on there, and that is half a squid and half a cart wing, 7-ounce lead. I'm going to get that sent out. But look at that, how tasty does that look? Is that a bite on the other rod? It is a bite. It is a bite on that other rod. Now then, it looks teeny tiny, so I'm guessing it's a little whiting, little rockling. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to send this rod out anyway. I hope that is a tiny whiting and big old coddy comes and grabs hold of it while I'm sending this. So let's just give this a dead simple lob. Send that out there. Not too far on that one. Just tighten down onto that. There we go. Yeah, definitely got a whiting on this. What? Hey, did you see that for a catch? As suspected. Little whiting. No monster, not even worth taking for the table, to be honest. A little bit too big for a bait, a little bit too small for the table, so we'll send him back. Missing a load of teeth at the front. I think he's been uppercutted by a big cod at some point. But yeah, there we go, we're off the blank. Let's get him back. So like I say, we're well into cod season. It's getting on for late November now. Obviously, as I've mentioned in a few videos, November is Men's Mental Health Month, so I hope you're all keeping okay. And if you're not, that's perfectly fine. It's okay to not be okay. I know I bleat on about it on the channel, but the worst thing you can do is suffer in silence. There's nothing wrong with going and seeing a counsellor, but it doesn't have to be that extreme. Talking to your mates, talking to your missus, you know, there's various helplines that you can ring, Mind, Samaritans. There's loads of people out there who's willing to just listen to what's going on, listen to your struggles, and possibly offer you some good advice as well. Talking of mental health, just a reminder that Tommy Joe is still running his calendar competition over on his channel. He's had a calendar made, he's raffling that off. It's £2 a ticket. If you want to head over to his channel, if you want to head over to his Facebook, all the money raised from that is going to men's sheds. He's another lad who, like me, you know, he's quite open, suffers from times, and mental health is something that's both close to our hearts. By the end of November, he'll do a random draw, and whoever gets that number will get that calendar. And I'll put his PayPal link below. Like I say, go and check his page out, go and check his channel out, or you can just send him a donation across to that PayPal link. If you write down all the stuff that's on your mind at the minute, cross out the ones that have got nothing to do with you and are completely out of your control, and then see what list you're left with. Tackle them and then see how you feel then. That's the best advice I can give you, other than getting out and getting fishing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how I bait up. I'm going to do a squid and black wrap. So I'm going to use this tool that Adi of Fish and Chippies gave me, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a couple of frozen blacks. These are only small ones, they're not the best. Admittedly, they've been in the freezer for probably getting on to 12 months now, I'd have said. I'm trying to run the freezer down at the minute. Just keeping my eye on that rod knocking away. And these are still frozen solid. About 40 minutes into a session now, just on second casts. So feed those all the way down there, like so. I'm going to take the snippet of squid that I just took off for that carp bait, and I'm going to go on this other side, in and out and in, just to keep it on there nice and neat and tidy. Bring that all the way down, line that up nicely with my blacks. Grab the old bait elastic. Hopefully you guys can still see all this. Grab the old bait elastic. I'm just going to go round and round and round a couple of times, and that's it, that's ready to go now. So I'm going to bring that rod back in. Okay, so now I've got that whiting returned, I'll take bottom hook on this panel, just press it into that foam there. Press the lug and squid nice and tight up. I'm just going to go around a few times, concentrating on the eye of the hook. Keep that nice and tight. Down around the shank. And come up a couple of wraps. You only need a couple of wraps around the line because you've already got the bait nicely wrapped up. Snap that off. Slide that off. Tool, like so. Take your top circle, I just like to put it through a bit of the worm, so just nick it through the top of the squid, pull your line tight, and there you have it. One nice, compact, streamlined, if I pull that a bit tighter, squid and black's bait. Two really nice proud hooks, and that should find probably whiting, but cod will take that as well. Oh yeah, right, nice, simple red lob. That's it, it's out there. So squid and black bait gone. Hopefully far enough out of the reach of pesky little whiting. And if a whiting does come along and take it, hopefully it's small enough just to stay on there as bait. Apparently you can pause recording on GoPro, I didn't even know you could do that. So I don't think you've heard anything that I've just said, but it's bang on an hour now till high water. The survey boat's just been passed again, probably on its closest lap that it's done so far this morning. Hopefully he's not going to come any closer in than that. He's surveying looks like he's surveying anyway, the shipping canal. Looks like he's surveying the shipping channel into the Manchester Canal up there. I hope he doesn't come any closer, because he was pretty close to my lines then. It's probably about 50 or 60 yards off the dock here, but he is definitely making his way closer and closer inland. In fact, I'll get my phone out and I'll get you a bit of footage as to just how close he's actually coming in. Worked his way around the back of the buoy there, all the way into about there and back out again. Now we're left to high water. I've seen the lad that's fishing down the way strike a couple of times, but at the same time I don't know if he's just striking to retrieve, because he reels in every time. Oh no, this could be one. It's come even closer this time. Hopefully he's going to stay out there now, away from my lines. It is fairly close though. Should be alright, I think, just. We are in fairly deep water, so the lines do go down at a reasonable angle, but that was close, that. Hopefully he's not going to get any closer. To be fair to him, he did have his head stuck out the window, so he was obviously watching for me, jumping up and down, and he's obviously got a job to do as well, so I'm not slamming him by any means. But oh, twitchy bum time. I think next time he does another loop, I'm going to have to set the ratchets really light. Pretty certain I've got small whiting on both of these rods. Like I say, they do make great live baits. Seen a couple of little rattles earlier. Each time I tighten the lines down, you just see a little tap and it goes slightly slack again. Hopefully we've got some good live baits out there at the minute. Oh, hey up. That's a good bite. Well, I was just about to tell you how it's gone really slow. So on this one, I've not long just put this one out, and this is blacks and mussel. That definitely didn't, if that's a whiting, it's a whiting on roids. The tide's just turned, I can tell that by all the crap that's come floating past. Remember I said we've had a couple of dry days? Well, there's still a lot of crap in the water. Might be less rainwater, but there's still plenty of debris. That rod, you can probably see that just knocking about. There's a raft of weed around that. Now I've picked this rod up and turned the camera on. Hopefully I got that bite on camera. You don't just think I'm just stood here with my rod in my hand like a pervert. I guarantee you the second I put this rod down, it'll go again and then stop. So let's try it, shall we? So baits at the minute, so I've tried carp wings, I've tried squid, I've tried squid and carp, I've tried blacks and squid, I've tried mussels and blacks. On this rod at the minute, the one that's just bobbing around with that weed on, I've got 3 just straight blacks on there, on that panel. And on the other one, like I say, I've got blacks and mussel, and I'm just wondering if whatever it is that's just grabbed hold of that has managed to pull the mussel out of the wrap. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you'll pick that up in that camera, but it's twitching. If it's twitching like that, that might have just been a really angry whiting. Oh, go on then. Let's have you. knocking a little bit. It's knocking a little bit. Oh. Mate, come on, where's your dad? Bloody juvenile delinquents need to stay at home. Spend a fortune on cart wings. Little bloody ratbags like you. Oh, probably have to zoom in or do some special effects or something for that. Don't you bite me. Yeah, he's not happy. Not happy in the slightest, but there you go. Tiny, tiny little pin whiting. If I haven't got a bag full of... Whoop! Oh, he gets a 9 out of 10 for his dive, to be honest. I've got plenty of whiting so far this morning, nothing of, you know, any decent size. I reckon we've probably got about an hour's worth of fishing left. Checking with my phone then, but it's on my box. I think we've probably got an hour or so's fishing left, depending on how much debris starts floating through. Like I say, it's a really calm morning. That wind's died off to next to nothing, so hopefully that means the tide's not going to rip through like an absolute bastard. But they are fairly big tides, so like I say, we'll try and fish for another hour. Just play it by ear really. I've got nothing better to do. But at the same time, if I start casting that away and the weight's bedding in that way, I'm out of here. This is probably going to be the last of my local sessions before we start heading further afield. The reason for that is 2nd of December, it's Jack's birthday. 3rd of December, it's my birthday. Obviously, you're into December then, you've got Christmas, you've got Christmas dues. I've got my Christmas due, Sarah's got her Christmas due, family visits and all that sort of stuff. I'm using holiday up at the minute. Not quite decided where the big trip's going to be next. It's going to be at least a day trip, ideally a 2-day trip. And I'm between, hopefully both of these trips are going to happen at some point this winter, but heading up to the northeast, Northumberland, up that way, it's an area that I wanted to try and fish last year but never got the time to. And the other trip is the Bristol Channel. You can't have a winter where you don't visit the Bristol Channel. And yeah, the year's gone. The year has gone. Like I say, we're at sort of the end of November now, and it only seems like 5 minutes ago it was August. This year, it's been a slow year for fishing, to be honest. It's probably been the trickiest year, the toughest year. I fished a lot of new marks, admittedly. I haven't defaulted to the same old, which has made it tough this year. But yeah, as the channel grows, I want to do more trips further afield. 2024, I want to go specimen hunting. Brighton, down the south coast for place. Skate. We went up Scotland, and I had a couple of sessions after skate. Got some really nice spur dogs, but no skate. So yeah, I'd like to do a week or so up Scotland in the van with Sarah and Jack, and we'll get some good fishing in. I don't know, which one was that? I think they're both knocking. I thought it was that left-hand rod that bounced, but then this one had the bite on it. A week in Wales targeting taupe could be a good shout. So yeah, if you've got any suggestions, if you've got any locations, if you've got any challenges you want to throw down, I'm always up for a good challenge, mate. With that said, I just want to say once again, thank you ever so much for the support. It means a lot. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you love the video, subscribe. If you haven't loved the video, check a couple others out, because some of the others are better than this. What a stunning day. I tell you, in the middle of winter, I'm going to need my sunglasses. Squinting hell. Well, I know that is not what was giving those bites, but I think that could be the next bait out. Sorry matey, but you want to be cheeky and take my bait. Going to be cum bait. Yes mate, you are possibly the perfect size for it as well. Sucks to be you mate. Sucks to be you. Well, I thought I'd bring you around this side so you can actually see my face for a change, because that sun is, well, I probably look Asian right now, but at least you can see my face. Oh, that's a bite. That is a good bite. Look at that. I tell you, turn this camera on more often, Warren. What have we got on this one now? I can't remember. Oh, this is that crab that was bloody too lazy to let go of my bait. So I split his shell off, put a little bit of extra cork wing on top of him, lassoed him on, sent him out. What I was about to say is it's now an hour after high water. The tide is ripping a little bit, but it's manageable. I was going to apologise for this video being full of waffle, because there's not been, well, there's not been a great deal of. So the only problem fishing with these droppers is this is the shorter one, so there's about 2 foot of rig body where that snood can slide up and down, and it can make telling. Like now there is some movement in the rod tip, but I can't tell whether that's just the weight moving around in the tide. If we are hooked up, it's no double figure cod. It's not pulling my arms off, so I know that much. Oh, that's gone slack though. Let's not wait around anymore, eh? Yeah, it's the only problem with the pulley droppers. It means that your bait sits nice and low to the floor, but unfortunately it means that snood can slide up and down, and it makes hooking into a fish tricky. Certainly when the little rattly bites like that anyway. So I think on that note guys, like I say, apologies it's been slow. Hopefully you've seen in the footage, hopefully I've captured them. Plenty of little rattly whiting bites, but that's not what I'm here for. Like I said earlier in the video, I could have dropped down to 2 up flappers, 3 up flappers, small baits, and be hauling them out 2 or 3 at a time I think. But like I say, the tide is starting to rip through, so I'm going to call this last casts. I hope you've not been bored to death. If you're still here, thanks for watching, and hopefully next time we'll see you on location. Who knows where? North, south, east, west, could be anywhere. So until then, take care, look after yourselves, and tight lines.